This is a perfectly ordinary episode. There will be no surprise twists. There will be no canon-altering plot developments. There will be no narrative development whatsoever. Thanks for tuning in. Everything is fine. This is Vaguely Scientific. I am Derek. That's all I really have to say about that. I introduce myself at the top of every episode, so this is normal. And Jim is joining me, just like he always does for every episode, so nothing weird about that. Hi, Jim.
No, but I'm a pretty weird guy, so...
Well, okay. And also joining us as a guest on the show is Hunter. Welcome back, Hunter.
I went to film school.
That's good. And we do have a second guest this week, but we've done that before, so there's precedent for this sort of thing. Nothing weird about Justin joining us, right? Hi, Justin.
I'm a narrative device.
What? We have all the meta commentary this one. I love it.
So far, so good.
Just like every other episode, we're going to answer some questions that we have collected from listeners, friends of the show, and throughout our ordinary daily lives. Whether or not we get those answers right, we'll do our best to be at least vaguely scientific. Oh, one thing we're doing differently this episode is that we're going to skip Jim's fun science fact of the day. Why are we doing that, Jim?
Well, because on all of these very normal April Fools episodes that have never been weird ever before, we do a little game called Science Fact or Fiction. It is basically two truths and a lie, but with science facts. So we're each going to give you 3 facts, and one of them isn't true. And if you are very clever at the end of the episode, when we reveal the answers, you will get them all right.
Whoa. Yeah, and so as in previous years, we're not going to reveal to each other what the answers are, and we're going to avoid Googling our own facts during the course of the episode, but we will reveal them at the end to each other and to you, the listener, if you would like to play along the entire episode. So, without further ado, I assume everybody understands the rules. If not, let's start with a veteran to the game, Justin.
Yay! I got real pedantic about it this year, so...
Okay.
My 3 facts are as follows. China is the country that has the world's largest forested area at 200 hectares of forest.
Okay.
Less than 10% of the world's currency is physical.
Oh, that one is upsetting me already.
Armadillos are bulletproof.
Well, I know that turtles are bulletproof, so I'm not sure.
Huh.
Okay.
I'm feeling good this year.
I can test one of these.
Do you have an armadillo at your disposal?
No, but I have a lot of currency.
I was about to say, this is not an invitation for you to go shoot an armadillo.
Please don't.
Now, what caliber bullet are we talking about with the armadillo?
There are bullets. Armadillos are,
and also does like an anti-tank round count as a bullet? So,
what I will tell you is not a grenade launcher. Not what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, I think a bulletproof vest. There are armor-piercing rounds that would pierce through a bulletproof vest, so I think that would still
maybe
count.
A 9mm handgun is what we're talking about here.
You don't want to be bringing a gun to an armadillo fight.
No.
That's true territory.
Also, if you know about an armadillo fight, please report it to your local authorities.
Don't be a narc. Let Justin have his fun.
When it comes to animal cruelty, everyone should be narcs.
I am going to say that the one that is fake is the China one, the forests in China. But I don't feel great about it, because that means that I have to concede that a bulletproof armadillo is a thing.
I want the armadillo one to be true, so for that reason alone, I'm not going to pick it. I am going to pick the one about currency, and I'm really curious to know why Justin made the comment about being pedantic, because I have a theory, but I'll wait till the reveal to see if I'm right about it. So I'm going to say less than 10% of currency.
I'm on the same boat. I think reserves that are like count as physical change these numbers, but I could just be off by any order of magnitude in that, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Okay. So our votes are in, and we'll find out at the end of the episode. In the meantime, our second guest, Hunter, I believe you've brought us some facts.
Yeah, I've got in the form of stories, not single bits.
Okay.
So give me some space to give you some tales of science fact. Bumblebees can breathe underwater.
Oh.
While ecologist Sabrina Rondeau was researching hibernating queen bees, she accidentally let condensation fill up some of the test tubes. She was drowning the poor and expensive specimens. I freaked out, she said. Quote, I was sure the queens were dead. But when she took them out of their watery hellscapes, she discovered that she had not accidentally committed insecticide. The queens returned to life. Instead, a new research direction for her. For up to a week, they submerged queen bees, on purpose this time. After just one day after they were pulled out, these formerly bedraggled bees were, as Rondeau put it, fluffy again. Beautiful, like nothing happened. End quote. They measured the oxygen concentration in the water to learn that, yes, the queen bees are breathing underwater.
There's context to this one.
Yeah.
All right, that was the first. Ready for the second?
That's gonna make them all believable.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, right?
Bats have musical taste. When given a choice between two controlled habitats that were otherwise equal, researchers at the University of Santa Clara discovered that Vesper bats had a predisposition towards certain musical genres. Heavy metal, to be exact. Researchers theorized that the bats would prefer music with more delay and reverb, such as in common black metal, nu metal, Viking metal, or even crust punk. The idea was that it might sensorially activate their echolocation abilities. Quote, ironically, this does include Ozzy Osbourne, unquote, said Santa Clara biology professor Elizabeth Dalhoff. And
I can like the music.
And the last one, honey, I swear I've only had one beer. In 2019, a Texas man started exhibiting symptoms of heavy intoxication despite, he claims, having only had one or two of his evening beers. But surely enough, this obvious liar would also be getting drunk. Slurred speech, dizziness, stumbling, the whole kit and caboodle of intoxication when he hadn't had anything to drink, he said. His intoxication baffled experts. He didn't have any other apparent issues with them. They were taking him to various medical experts. His wife was not taking anyone's word for it. She bought a breathalyzer, and yes, he was not lying. He really was drunk, and he really hadn't had anything to drink. It took a while, but an endocrinologist finally solved the mystery. The man was producing the alcohol himself. His guts has a strange biome that was brewing. Don't drink his gut juice, though. It's the ethanol being produced, a gas. The strange bacteria arrangement was producing ethanol, what's called autobrewery syndrome. Doctors gave him some meds to mess with all those bacteria, and now he only gets drunk when he chooses to, or when Dak Prescott throws another interception.
I like it.
I don't think that bees can breathe underwater.
Okay.
But I also don't know if you can drown a bee, because it's hard to do that. So, but I'm going to vote for that one and hope for the best.
I do know that ground bees specifically, you can't you can fill their ground nest with water and they will still come out afterwards.
Oh.
And I know they're not bumblebees, but that's also a thing I remember learning about them a long time ago.
That might be worse.
Yeah.
I think I know one of these, but the one I'm going to go with is bats have musical taste. I'm torn between two of them.
I think the bat one sounds plausible.
Okay.
Yeah, they got big ears.
Well, and between how echolocation works and just vibrations in the air, I wonder if metal is it would confuse them, I would imagine. Maybe they don't like it. Maybe they're just
That's mainly what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah. I think the last one's fake.
Auto brewery.
Yeah, only because I think auto brewery syndrome I don't think that's the real term for it. I think that term sounds made up. I don't think that's real because I don't think that's what they would call it. So
All right. Well, we got two more collections of facts to give us. So, Jim, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say yours are all about space.
Yeah.
Every
And it's
year, man.
also all about precipitation, too.
Whoa, okay. Double theme.
All right. My first fact is it can theoretically rain methane on Saturn's moon Titan. The second one, it can theoretically rain diamonds on Venus. And the third one, it can theoretically rain helium on Jupiter.
I know I said I was being pedantic.
Yeah.
But
theoretically is a rough qualifier.
Well,
yeah.
So I put it in all three of them only because one of them is like we cannot physically go there to find out. So
Okay, would you repeat the last one, please?
yeah, it can theoretically rain helium on Jupiter. I should say in Jupiter.
Okay.
That's the one that's theoretical.
Mm.
Getting into Jupiter is a struggle.
Here's the thing. I know that it can theoretically
Famously.
rain diamonds somewhere, and I'm thinking that it wasn't Venus.
If these are right and you just shuffled the planet, like I'm
Well, only
cooked.
one
No
of them
shot.
is only one of them is allowed to be a lie.
Yeah. Two of them are true.
So I'm going to go with rain diamonds on Venus specifically because I think that is true about a different planet. And if I'm wrong, I'll own it.
If you're wrong, then you're wrong.
If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
There are no stakes here.
There are, there's, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm saying methane, but I'm guessing.
Okay.
I think methane's true. I want to say helium. I think I'm wrong about that, but I do. But I'm gonna say helium. I think that I don't know at what temperature does helium turn from a gas to a liquid?
Yeah.
That's because like
A
I know
very
like
low one.
right because
Or what
liquid
pressure?
liquid
Yeah,
helium
you're
is
right.
super cold.
Yeah. But that is a good point about the pressure, though.
Well, he did
Yeah.
say inside of Jupiter,
Mhm.
which would be a higher pressure environment.
Any of
Yeah.
my understanding of how things work, when you say inside of Jupiter, just negates.
Well, Jupiter's a gas giant, so I think it's
Yeah.
helium. I think that one's wrong. I think
Okay. Well, I like that we're hedging our bets on this one. We each
Mhm.
voted for a different one.
Well, someone's going to be right.
Reasonings be darned. We're on a team here. All right. Well, I guess I'll round it out with my three factoids. These are all historical misconceptions. So, fact number one: people believed influenza was caused by the position of the stars.
I got the flu because of the fault in my stars.
Fact number two: sailors believed the cure for scurvy was a scam.
Yeah.
And fact number three: doctors believed washing their hands would kill their patients.
I believe number two, quote, sailors believe you could finish that sentence however you want, and there's some dumb sailor out there who's like, yeah.
It was the common accepted belief is the caveat that I want to throw in there.
Same thing about the stars, too. Like some group of people somewhere were looking up and being like, yeah, that's why. Yeah. Yeah, Venus is in retrograde.
I think that the sailor thing is the lie. I think that any excuse to eat citrus fruit, they were like, let's do it.
Okay.
I mean, the doctor hand washing one is another one of those things where it's like pedantic. There's probably some situation where that was true. You know, I don't know. Like doctors were bad at what they do mostly. You know, like leeches and trepanning. Like they were just wrong all the time. But what are you gonna do? You gonna listen to anyone else? Like you got to try something.
They're a doctor.
They're a doctor.
That the phrasing of that second one, I kind of think it's the I don't know.
Well, I know that they discovered the cure to it, and then then there was an epidemic of it happening again later, where they like forgot the cure to it. Like I know that there's some weird bump in the history of scurvy, but I just can't remember well enough. And a listener is screaming at me.
Well, it's one of those weird ones where you're like, all right, so we know that citrus helps you with scurvy, but so I'm sure like, is it this idea that like they believed that it wasn't true? So like, is the captain of the ship like, eat your oranges? And they're like, I can't believe he's making me eat an orange. I think it's 2. Yeah, I think the scurvy one is fake. I think that's.
Well, listeners, we will revisit all of these a little later in the show, so feel free to go Google the answers and feel smarter than us before then, if you want. In the meantime, we have a collection of questions for this episode, and I think let's just dive into our first one, which comes to us from Air Bud. Are there, in fact, no rules that say a dog can't play basketball, particularly at the NBA level?
Oh, this one's easy. Nope, they can't play basketball. It's in the rules. Bye. Next.
It's in the rules. That's the answer.
Next.
I disagree.
Uniform violation, shoe violation. Refs have discretion. Fielding teams has the word man in it. There's also like gender rules that imply the right. Get out of here with these dogs. Now a monkey.
Oh.
Ooh.
I disagree. I don't think the gender rule at all means that a dog. It has to be a male dog. Yeah. There's no rule that says it has to be human. It says it has to be a man.
Now, I will say this, that even if there's not a rule practically banning the use of a dog on your team, is that dog going to be competing at a human level without CGI and special effects and a lot of training? And I think no.
You think no? Okay.
It doesn't have opposable thumbs, for starters.
Now, that's not the question, Jim. The question is, are there rules against dogs playing?
You know what? That's a good point. Well, it was sort of one of those things like, is it an explicit rule or is it an implicit rule of just nature?
Well, that's what I kind of was getting at. And the most concrete thing I could find was there is no wording specifically that says no dogs allowed or even only humans allowed.
Mm-hmm.
However, Jim puts out a point of, are they going to be playing well? Because in July of 2005, the NBA instituted a rule requiring that the minimum age for draft into the NBA be 19 and that the entrants be at least 1 year removed from high school, meaning they have to be at least 19 years old and they have to have attended high school. And
that's only 3 in dog years.
Well, I don't think dog years factor in here. That's my argument, because golden retrievers tend to only live 10 to 12 years. Theoretically, they could make it to 19, but that is not going to be a capable athlete.
Yeah.
Now, why would you say that dog years don't count? They number them differently. They count them differently.
Because it's a universal standard of the revolutions around the sun is how we measure a year.
I've just been reading the NBA rulebook.
Okay.
Right now.
And what'd you find?
I am shocked at how sparse it is. Like, I really expected,
no
like,
rules.
it's not like it's like a, it's a pamphlet. Like, there's a lot here, but it really is just bullet points and like a sentence or two for all of these things.
That's kind of how it is with like the Formula One handbook. Like, it's not like a board game rule book, where they have, paragraphs of descriptors. It's just like boop, 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 boop. And then I guess it's to the discretion of the refs if there's like something weird going on the court.
I mean, the counterpoint to this whole argument is that the NBA specifically, most of their rules are adjusted to make it entertaining for spectators.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see like goaltending rules were implemented to make it so that more dramatic things would happen during a game. And so I could see perhaps a movie being written where a dog must play basketball. And you could argue, well, is an audience going to like that? Probably. Yeah. It's a dog.
That being said, has there been an instance where a dog has played basketball? Because, I mean, you have the Harlem Globetrotters and other exhibition teams where they do things kind of zany and fun, and there's not really a whole lot of like actual basketball happening per se.
Right.
So is there like a dog on a team somewhere that's doing that kind of same thing?
You know what, Jim? You bring up a really good point, right? And it's the fact that if there were any basketball team in the entire United States that was going to have a dog on its team, it'd probably be the Washington Generals.
Oh, but they always lose.
Exactly.
Because they have a dog on their team.
But they don't. They historically don't. Well, I think we've got a handful of questions here. I think we should move on to the next one.
Okay.
So question 1 this week comes to us from Joel. Does anyone actually pronounce... I don't know how to read this. Does anyone actually pronounce GIF like GIF?
I mean, some people do.
Yeah,
I pronounce it GIF,
Yeah.
GIF.
Yeah,
but
some
I didn't
people are
want
wrong.
to spoil the data in reading the
I
question.
believe the people who invented it pronounced it GIF.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were wrong.
They were
Yeah.
wrong. It's GIF.
They were extremely wrong.
Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement. They're wrong.
I
Yeah.
have two bits of information that I looked up because Steve Wilhite, I don't know how to pronounce his name, speaking of pronunciation, but
Mhm.
has claimed that he intended the pronunciation to be GIF. And other people have cited that the G in this word stands for graphics or graphical. And therefore, because that's a hard G, that
Mhm.
should make the acronym start as G. Now, my argument for that is that it's an acronym, meaning that it is pronounced as a separate word and therefore does not have to follow the rules. And my other argument is that Jif is a brand of peanut butter.
Yeah.
So I don't like that.
I mean, if shouldn't we just be pronouncing it GIF?
If you don't want it to be an acronym, if you just want it to be an initialism, then yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it is accepted as a word.
So do you pronounce PNG ping?
I do.
No, because that's not an acronym.
Oops.
But some people say JPEG,
Yeah. I do all of them as acronyms.
and
My bad.
No.
it's a ping
wait.
file. Okay,
I always say pig.
Some people do
So
say
do you-
ping.
Jim,
I've never
Jim.
heard that. Okay,
I have to know, Jim.
Yeah.
Do all of your 3D files, do you call them stills?
No, those I don't.
Still-
Because
But
that doesn't
still-
flow off the tongue, you know?
This is my Microsoft Word doc.
Yeah. No, that I say docx.
I still just
I
call it.
don't know why they
doc.
did that.
Oh, it's because those are the open standard ones. They gave up trying to be proprietary. Don't come at me with file type trivia.
Give actual. You're
You've
giving
entered
actual
my
information
domain now.
See, I guess that's fair then. Okay.
So we all say GIF. Is that what I
Yeah.
heard?
The graphics interchange format should be pronounced GIF or GIF, but GIF.
But not
If
GIF.
you're one of my students and you yell about the pronunciation, I'll tell you, shut up, no one cares.
No one cares. That was
Not
my
when it
last
should be
point.
pronounced one way or the other.
That was my last point. People who actually care, I've never met one, I think.
All I've learned is that I think that Jim now pronounces Acrobat files as pdfs.
I do not. I can
Pdfs.
verify that.
Can you
Yeah.
send me a pdf?
Can you send me that spreadsheet? Can you get up those?
Oh.
God, Jim, you're horrible.
Slurring
You
letters
know,
together. That was
The great news is that I've never actually had to reference the file extension of an Excel file. So I'm just like, hey, send me that spreadsheet.
Oh yeah, because you call it a spreadsheet. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Oh no, my spreadsheets.
Oh, let's move on.
No.
This one's not going to be any better. Oh boy. Question 1 this week comes to us from the English alphabet. What are the best and worst cursive letters?
Oh, I want to see what everyone else says.
I don't think any one letter. I think it's about the connections between them, the pairs.
Mm.
Oh, that's interesting. I wrote F probably starts the most famous curse word, but the letter S appears most frequently in English curse words.
Oh,
Hmm.
That's where I went with cursive. That was a
Mm.
pun.
I see.
Mm.
Do you want to try to explain it again?
No, I'm good.
If you have a pen in front of you and you can write cursive, write down the word minimum right now.
Oh,
It's
I love
good.
it. I love
It's good. So I gotta say,
Oh.
it's like the M's and the N's, and then the ones that you like dot after you go back and go pop pop the T's and the
Yeah.
I's, like illuminate or minimum. Oh, that's gotta be it.
Oh, I just sort of traced it in the air, and it's like, that is satisfying.
It's difficult to read, but it's fun to write.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like anything I write.
The worst one is lowercase e.
Oh, yeah.
I could see that.
Lowercase e is it's a bad cursive letter, and I know what they're going for, but like you
Mhm.
said, Hunter, if you connect it to stuff, it just looks like And like people make it look like an I. Like it's a bad cursive letter. Looks kind of like the L too. Like it just looks like too many things.
It looks like a short squat L.
What about like an ampersand?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's what the capital S looks like. It's just a backwards ampersand.
Yeah.
Oh, good point.
Which one takes the most time? That's the worst. And the best.
I think the best one to write, the one I like writing the most, is capital L. And it looks like an L, which is a very important part of this.
Okay.
It's just like pretty. Like it just has a little loop, and it has a little loop, and it flows, and you can continue the word. It has like a tail that just keeps on going. So not like capital G, which has like all kinds of weird intricacies to it that doesn't even look like a G anyway.
Yeah, but how do you pronounce that capital G? Because that's really important.
I pronounce it capital G.
Okay.
As in generals, the Washington Generals.
Thank you, Justin, for continuing the trend. All right, I'm going to move on. I'm going to silence all of you and move on to question 1 this week, which comes to us from Addison. Who would win in a science duel, Einstein or Tesla?
I've bad news, everybody. It's Einstein.
It's Einstein? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're wrong. Youyou're wrong.
Einstein
That's not correct.
would kill Tesla with electricity, just like he killed the elephant.
But that's...
that was
he's not
Edison.
smarter.
Are you
He's
thinking
not
of Edison?
Better. Oh, yeah. Oh, I misread the question. Oh, I'm tired. Why would you duel Einstein and Tesla? This question's conceit I disagree with now.
I don't know that there was any ever
I don't care anymore.
See, now I will say that answer that you gave was exactly why I was going to say Tesla would win the science duel, because he would just electrocute Albert Einstein with like a big Tesla coil or something.
But Einstein worked on the nuclear bomb, or at least helped just figure it out.
But that takes a lot more effort. Like if they were in a room and he was just like, here's like 5 different things you can deal with. Like here's a coil of wire and like
well,
he's going to throw together a Tesla coil. Well, he's going to throw together a Tesla coil faster than Einstein can put together a nuclear bomb.
What if it's like a traditional duel where it's like choose your weapon, and Einstein is like, we're going to duel with nuclear bombs at dawn, and Einstein's going to be the one who knows how to use it.
They'll both lose.
Right.
Because they'll both be evaporated.
We all lose.
How many different duel types does Einstein lose in? Because he's going to lose to Tesla at Yu-Gi-Oh! He's going to lose to Tesla at a Pokemon. He's going to lose to Tesla at an eating contest.
I don't think he's going to lose to Tesla in an eating contest.
At a shootout.
I think rapiers. If they're using rapiers, then Einstein has a shot.
I bet you Einstein could spell. I bet you he would
Einstein
spell
studied the blade.
He studied the blade in the dark of the night. He studied. I just wanted to throw out, there is a graphic novel that I read a long time ago. It's a steampunk graphic novel called The Five Fists of Science. It's about Nikola Tesla and Mark Twain and Bertha von Suttner combining their forces against the evil, ruthless ways of Thomas Edison, J.P. Morgan, and Andrew Carnegie. And I remember it being fun. It's a fun little historical fiction.
I also want to point out that Tesla created wireless alternating current. I think there's something there.
You think there's something violent in that?
Well, that elephant definitely agreed.
Mm-hmm. I think in a duel between Edison and Tesla.
Yeah, I've been thinking about Edison this whole time, and I still am.
I think Edison would win that duel only because he would be willing to kill Tesla.
Yeah, Edison would win, and we'd all be unhappy about it.
Yeah.
I'd be all right. I don't know. I didn't know either of them.
That's fair.
You know what? No, I see. I'm thinking about now, like, what kind of fight again. I kind of think Tesla would win in a fist fight against Edison.
Oh, yeah, you know what? That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Edison would do some rule book thing and, like, pull a dog in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And still win. That's what I'm saying. He's just a conniving...
So here's the question I want to ask. While Tesla is fighting Einstein, who is Edison fighting?
It had to be equally from left field, I suppose.
Right?
Benjamin Franklin with
Benjamin
with a white
Franklin,
man.
yes.
Niels Bohr.
Yep.
Niels Bohr.
Niels Bohr.
That's a good one.
Marie Curie.
To be fair, I also think Niels Bohr against Edison would win in a fist fight. So
Yeah.
Then we just have a bracket, and we were putting together a boxing league
Yeah.
of historical scientists. All right. Well, question 1 this week comes to us from the Evil League of Nefarious Villainy. What does it mean to be chillin' like a villain? How are villains chillin'?
We're comfortable.
Yeah.
We're thriving. We're in our element. We're confident.
Mhm.
We have plans in motion. I'm not have anxiety about what's going on tomorrow. I know what's going on tomorrow. Today, we can chill.
Mhm.
Tomorrow, someone's going to die. Day after that, we're going to order some food delivery. We're ready, and it's like an anti-anxiety
Yeah.
chilling.
Yeah, like if you ever watch, Blofeld and James Bond, he sits in that chair and has like the cat in his lap, and he's just like,
Oh yeah.
it's all going according to plan.
Yeah.
But then it never does. That's the problem. They're too chill.
Well, they're no longer chilling at that point.
Yeah. They should have spent less time chilling, is I think the bottom line.
Famously, most Bond villains become at some point or another unchill.
Yeah, that's their
Correct.
downfall.
I'm having a hard time thinking about any villains who I think are
Oh, I
like,
have a list.
crazy chill. Oh, do you?
Mr. Freeze, Captain Cold,
right.
Killer
Yes.
Frost.
Okay.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, correct.
No,
Yeah.
keep
Not-
going. Keep going.
Minister
Hades.
Blizzard, Cryonic
Yeah.
Man, Chillblade,
You got 2 more?
Icicle, Blue Snowman.
Mhm.
That is actually all of my list, but you said 2 more, and I was like, oh, I have 2 more.
Yeah.
Iceman, but he's not a villain, so yeah.
Mm.
They're all from DC, which was weird. I was struggling to find Marvel characters that were ice themed other than Iceman. I know there's another one. I just can't think of their name.
Oh yeah, I would say Iceman's an X-Man.
Yeah, but he's not a
Listener,
villain.
Shout
so.
it out now.
Right.
Do you know a
Do you-
Marvel villain that's ice themed?
Also, say swiper, no swiping to stop our ice themed villains from being stolen. Any Dora the Explorer fans here? No? Okay.
No, I get it.
Yeah, I know. Your silence was understandable.
We were performing the excellent podcast trick of just leaving silence.
Yeah. That way the audience has a chance to laugh. Like, when you watch a sitcom being filmed and they pause for laughter.
Oh, that's where we'll put the
Mhm.
laugh track in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Frost Giants. They're
Yeah.
Mm.
cold villains from. There you go.
Yeah.
Google does not have a lot of snow-themed Marvel villains, so I don't think there's a
Interesting.
whole lot of them.
I was hesitant to count the Frost Giants because they're like from Norse mythology, but I guess they did use them in the Thor comics, so that's fair.
Yeah.
So that's that's how you
Emma
chill
Frost.
like a villain.
Emma Frost is
Not really
Marvel,
ice themed.
right. I mean her name.
The name is, yeah.
Who's the most relaxed villain?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Certain incarnations of Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what about Strahd?
Strahd's a good one. From,
Yeah,
uh,
he
pretty
throws a dinner
relaxed.
party for you.
The Spider-Gwen comics had Daredevil as the kingpin, where they did all the flipping of the roles.
Mm.
Oh, cool.
And that villain was terrifying, so in control of everything. And
Yeah.
relaxed.
I think James Bond villains, and correct me if you disagree, but Max Zorin, Christopher Walken, he's about to fall off the Golden Gate Bridge to his death, and he just starts laughing.
I have no context for the James Bond reference, so I cannot disagree with you.
That movie is a fun watch. I don't necessarily know that it's a good movie, but I enjoy every minute of it.
I like Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like Christopher Walken?
Drops a guy out of a blimp.
Who's the best Bond villain? Wrong answers only.
Dora the Explorer.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. That's it. We got it in one.
All right.
Nailed it.
We got it in one.
And throw the conceit out. We're good.
All right. Question 1 this week comes to us from the person who sent this question. Why do people say tuna fish sandwich, but they don't say chicken bird sandwich?
Oh.
I would say because they're not eating chicken, they're eating tuna.
Yeah.
Who says tuna fish sandwich? This is the tuna sandwich.
You don't say
Yeah,
tuna
why-
fish?
No.
Oh,
You
interesting.
can't tune a fish, but you can tune a piano.
Rock Adrian.
None of this question makes sense to me.
That's actually why they probably say it, so you don't think they're giving you a tuna piano sandwich.
So let me ask this to everyone else. Do you say tuna fish or do you just say tuna?
You just say tuna.
I just say tuna.
I also just say tuna.
Wow, interesting. Well, it's this is an odd sample size because I was reading statistics about this actually that when canned tuna was first introduced, many Americans had never seen tuna before. So it was marketed as tuna fish to clarify what was actually in the can.
Oh, that's so
Ah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Notice how you introduced that though.
But like in parentheses,
No, it's just
tuna parentheses fish.
You said when tuna was first introduced. You didn't say when tuna fish was first introduced.
well, that's why I was asking because like colloquially, like I'll just say tuna, but the phrase tuna fish is very common.
Have you ever eaten a tuna fish salad? Who would say that?
Have you never heard that? Really?
Tuna fish salad?
I've never heard that, no.
I just feel like it's a commonly said thing.
I feel insane right now.
Okay.
I mean, I've definitely heard tuna fish for
Okay,
sure. Like
all right,
that's
well,
definitely
thank-
no.
yeah,
That,
that's-
like you're not crazy, Derek. That's definitely a thing that people say.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it. I don't say it personally.
well, that's what I thought was interesting that Hunter had seemed to have never heard it before, and I
It's like, but not like a human
I have not
being
heard
doesn't
tuna
say
fish
it.
salad. I've only heard tuna salad.
all right. Well,
And I've heard tuna nuda casserole.
we're getting very hung up on details that I feel like
No, I'm just thinking out loud now.
Chicken bird sandwich. I actually do hear all the time.
Oh,
So
that's okay. That explains it. So the question's just wrong.
They also do say chicken bird salad as well. I have heard
Yeah.
that one as well. So-
Chicken
Yeah.
bird salad.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Well, another thing that I learned is that German for tuna is Thunfisch. So that's a theory as to where that expression comes from as well.
Oh.
I agree that it's weird to say tuna fish, hence the question.
I put tuna sandwich and tuna fish sandwich into Google Trends, and it's not even close. Tuna sandwich annihilates it.
Okay.
Hmm.
I mean, if your argument is that people don't say that, you're just wrong. My question was, why do some people say that?
But not chicken bird sandwich.
But not chicken
Yeah.
bird sandwich, because that's equally
Which everyone
silly.
says. That's super. That's
Well, because
super
chickens
normal.
are dinosaurs.
So why don't they say dinosaur nugget sandwich?
Because they don't have any class. If they had more class, they would.
They call them dino nuggets.
Yeah, they do have dino nuggets. That's true.
Okay.
I mean, are you not, Derek? Are you not enjoying your pulled pork pig sandwich?
I could go for a pulled pork pig sandwich.
They definitely say that. Pulled pork pig, that's definitely a thing.
Yeah. And beef steak.
I have heard
Beef steak.
Beefsteak hits different. It
Whoa.
feels different.
Whoa. Okay.
They also call them tuna
double
steaks.
standards. Thy name is Hunter.
Yeah, I'll acknowledge the double standard. Beefsteak feels completely normal, and everything else I've been joking on and riffing on. Beefsteak is just like, yeah, that's how that goes. But that's also stupid.
That's also
Well, they got
stupid.
ham steak too. I bought ham steak. They have it at Aldi's.
Well, it's a steak
Yeah.
of ham. I mean, it does actually make sense, but
Yeah.
Is my problem that I'm a vegetarian? Is that I'm eating my tofu bean curd?
Good luck editing this portion, Jim.
Yeah.
just
we'll
leaving
see
it
how
all
it
in.
goes.
It's all fine. Oh boy. Yeah, question 1 this week comes to us from Anne. How much is a bad amount of chocolate chip cookies?
7.
I mean, none, right?
7? I'm hearing 7 and none. Those are comparable answers.
How are they comparable?
I don't know. I'm speaking nonsense.
Oh, okay.
I thought we knew that.
Describe the weights.
Those seem so low. Those are both very low answers.
So when you say what is a bad amount, so none, I could see being like if you don't have any, that's a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I have to
yeah.
ask, is 7, are we saying that's not enough or that's too much?
That's me. It's the number of sleeves of Girl Scout cookies before I feel bad.
Oh, 7
Oh, that's a
sleeves of
sleeve.
cookies.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Sorry. Did we not say that? The unit of measurement is a sleeve.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That changes.
I got,
things.
obviously, when you talk about cookies, the standard unit of measurement is a full sleeve.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I couldn't.
Is that metric?
The
Is
metric
that in
sleeve.
increments of 10? Yeah.
I think a metric
Metric
sleeve
sleeve.
It's actually
is
one of
10.
those weird UK ones.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because
How
an
many
imperial
stone-
sleeve is pained at least.
Yeah.
So 7 sleeves of cookies is
Yeah.
a bad amount.
That would be, digestively, it would be a bad amount.
You know, in England they call them digestives.
Yeah. If you ate 7 sleeves of digestives, then you'd be fine. So what you do is you eat 7 sleeves of cookies and then 7 sleeves of digestives, and you're perfectly fine.
Yeah, there's sort of a cyclical thing happening where you get sick and
Cancel
then resolve the problem and then get sick again
Yeah.
by just continuing to consume.
This is how Pepto-Bismol stays in business.
I mean, you say that, but that is like when I'm not feeling well because I've eaten too much. That is how my brain works. It's like, what can I eat to make this feeling better? And
yeah.
it's the incorrect way to solve the problem. But
What if I gave you 7 sleeves of Cookie Crisp?
Cookie Crisp.
I forget if I like Cookie Crisp.
It's just like stale cookies.
That's that's
Yeah.
worse. I want none of those. Get out of here, bad cookie.
They're
Give me
not
the
very
soft and
good.
chewy ones.
Yeah.
They're pretty bad. It's bad
Can
cereal.
let me I misread this question. Apparently not the only question I misread, but I misread this question. Could I present an alternative?
Absolutely.
How much is a bad amount of chocolate chips in a cookie?
Yeah. I feel like then you
Also
gotta get
none.
into
None is a bad amount.
That is a bad amount.
well, then it's not a chocolate chip cookie.
That's true. Well, there you go.
You want your ratio to be like 20% chocolate,
Right.
80% cookie?
Because like
Yeah.
at what point
I want more chocolate. I want an uncomfortable thing that you're holding. I'm halfway to brownie when I'm happy.
Okay, so at what point does that turn into a
that's
chocolate
what I
cookie?
want to know is at what
And-
point
and
is
not
it
a
a
chocolate chip
fudge
cookie.
with bits of cookie?
The chips and the cookie need to be separated. and like, but it doesn't. But the percentages, you can have all the cookie or none of the cookie, as long as the cookie part isn't the chocolate, then it's a chocolate chip cookie.
That's fair.
Well, I can tell you, like, we don't define cookies by being like if you broke a cookie and you dipped it into a yogurt, you wouldn't be like, that's a yogurt cookie. You'd be like, that's yogurt with a piece of cookie in it.
That's a cookie
yeah.
dipped in yogurt. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, we have freedom to go to town at this Cold Stone Creamery of toppings on this cookie. I want a single giant chocolate chip with like a bit of cookie crumble on top of that.
Mm.
okay.
I want the exact opposite of what you're imagining when it comes to chocolate chip cookie. That's my preferred cookie.
So you want like the Hershey Kiss commemorative giant Hershey thing with cookie crumbs dribbled on it.
Oh, that sounds. I would go to town on that right now. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I feel like I should like more?
Chocolate
I don't
chip
remember
cookies?
what they're called. Well, no, I love chocolate chip cookies, but the cookies that are like, it's a cookie and then there's like one Hershey Kiss in the center.
Oh,
like-
okay.
They're
yeah.
fine, but like, I don't know. They don't do a whole lot for me. I will eat them. Like, don't get me wrong.
I've never
You
been
put
really
those in
sold
front of
on
me and they
those.
will go in my mouth, but
They sometimes make them with the peppermint Hershey Kisses. Those are pretty good.
I bet that would be good.
We need more cookie shapes.
More cookie shapes.
And I know we got cookie cutters and we can do everything we want, but why
Mhm.
don't we? I want more. I want chain links of cookies.
Yeah.
I want Oreo to just give in and sell me a stack that's already just a single giant, like the cream on,
Then they'd sell them pre-sleeved cookies, right?
Yeah, I just want a full sleeve from Oreo that's just like a single unit that I can eat from the top down.
It's packaged in a Pringles can.
Mhm.
I want more cookies that you make with waffle iron, like
Ooh.
pizzelle.
Yeah.
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 I want more cookies that you make with a panini press, a waffle iron, and a
George
deep
Foreman
fryer.
Mhm.
George Foreman grill. Give me the larger the size of this thing. I think we're going to be happy.
The through line here is we all want more cookies. All right. Well, let's see. Which one are we on? Question 1 this week comes to us from Dakvid. Can you call third-party jinxes? I want to make sure I'm interpreting this correctly. My understanding of this is if two people speak at the same time, can you call jinx on both of them? That's how I interpret a third-party jinx.
Oh, I thought it was on behalf of somebody.
Is this jinx you owe me a soda?
That is the correct way, so that's the way I do it.
I don't think you can look two people in the eye and just say, jinx, you owe me a soda. I'm otherwise not part of this moment.
I think that's fair. I think that's absolutely fair.
I think the only person that could do that is Jinx the Pokemon.
Okay, but can you call...
We're just gonna let Jinx the Pokemon as a person slide.
I guess.
Okay.
I don't really have anything against Jinx the Pokemon.
I think it has the best cry of any Pokemon.
Now, I do know that in certain circles, it is customary to house rule things like no tag backs. I have heard rumors that in some circles in the middle of nowhere, places that I guess don't matter, where the rules don't apply, some people think there's such a thing as a triple dog dare, which is just preposterous. So I could see people calling third-party jinxes. I just think that's, it's anarchy at that point.
But there is quadruple dog dare. You just skip the triple?
Well, no, it goes, I dare you, I double dare you, I double dog dare you, and then you just have to do it. So, like, what's the point of going past that?
Oh, my childhood had quadruple dog.
I've never had anybody back down from a double dog dare. I don't know. It's
fair. You were not raised amongst cowards. I
guess not. I wouldn't respect somebody who needed a quadruple dog dare.
That's... I think it was just fun to say. I do think that's, like, I might be misremembering, but we skipped triple. We went to quadruple because it was like just that alliterative, like, mumbly. I quadruple dog dare you.
Quadruple dog. Yeah. Okay. I can see that. I can see that being said.
Like the D's.
Let's think of the Dumb and Dumber scene. You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
So to answer the question, I think definitively no.
Definitively
no third-party jinxes.
I think we're all on.
If me and somebody share a whimsical moment where we spoke at the same time, like how Jim and I are about to both say sandwich, Jim.
I don't know what you're gonna say.
We were gonna have a moment together. We can try again.
All right.
You can edit this, right?
I can.
All right. So, like, if two of us, like if Jim and I were about to jinx each other by both saying Girl Scout cookie. Oh my God, Jim, stay with me.
I didn't know this was evolving.
I'm just messing up.
The bit had to move on. I think the correct choice was made.
Please take this away from me. I will do that. I will keep doing this until somebody else stops me.
It made me laugh. All right. Hunter, shut up. We're done with you. All right. Question 1. Is that really, we're on 1? Okay. Question 1 this week comes to us from A Literal Train. What is the appropriate amount of times to say chugga before choo choo? 6.
I think it varies. I think every person has their comfort zone.
Comfort zone is it interesting? I proposed this question to my classroom of college students.
Okay.
I got a surprising variety of answers.
Oh, really?
Initially, it was multiples of 4.
That's what I was going to say.
Interesting.
Yeah. They have to be like 6. 6 is a weird one. Multiples of 4. Correct.
I just did it in my head, and that's how many times I said it. Okay, 6.
But I was surprised. I had 2s, 3s, 6s. I heard a lot, and I was shocked because for me it's multiples of 4.
Okay.
Yeah. I always go with 8, which is a multiple of 4.
So the one thing that I just basically am flat out against is 2. I think chugga chugga choo choo is too close to chitty chitty bang bang, and that's just not. It's not a train sound to me.
I don't disagree.
When you say chugga chugga, do you do a little arm motion like
I do.
the wheel thing?
That's sort of the reason that I landed on 6 originally, because I just did it. Like, I didn't really count. Because in my head, it's not a word. It's not like an independent word. It's a sound that I'm doing. So chugga 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 choo choo, and that's what I did.
That was weird. The way you did that.
But that's just the way I did it. And so I was like,
Justin,
okay,
back me up.
It is very much in the same vein as if you play seven notes on a scale and then stop.
But that's the correct number of notes in a scale.
Oh, I thought you were supposed to play 8.
Well, that's an octave, but the last note is the... Never mind.
Edit in both here.
What I'll do is I'll just edit.
No,
edit
there
some
is
more
the
Chuggas into
resolution.
Derek's.
Yeah, delete 2 of Derek's Chuggas.
No, it can't be 4. Add them if you're going to do anything.
Yeah,
Because it's like,
because
because you do a little chugga, 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 chugga. You do like that like cadence, that like volume and pitch.
Well, that's sort of, I guess my point was in my head, it's all one, it's just a cadence, I think is the right
Yeah.
word for it. So I didn't think of it as a number of individual helper words. I don't know.
And I think it's important to note that you do need at least 3, because like trains are not constantly blowing their whistles. Like that is the thing they do
Right.
at railroad crossings.
That's the thing, is you could sit here doing chuggas for like the whole day and then end with choo choo, and that would be acceptable to me.
Yeah.
Maybe not the whole day. I don't know why you're here that long.
All right, Jim, let's both start saying chugga at the same time, like we're jinxing each other. And then whenever it feels right, you just drop a choo choo.
Okay.
Okay, ready? 3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
Chugga,
Chugga, choo choo.
chugga. Oh.
No, Hunter, that was incorrect. That was the incorrect number.
I was gonna aim for 4 because I felt like that was a good middle ground, but
I had the jokes where I could do it for too long or too short, and I decided to not commit to just saying chugga over and over again.
Yeah. Now, probably quicker was better in that regard.
yeah.
All right. What about 1?
What about 1?
Chugga
Chugga choo choo.
Oof.
Oh, I don't
I
like
don't
that.
like that at
No,
all.
that's-
Chugga choo choo.
That sounds like the name of like a character in like a One Piece, like a shonen anime. I'm Chugga Choo
It
Choo.
does.
It's like a teddy bear character or something. I don't know.
Please, Mr. Choo. Chugga was my father.
I was thinking it was so in One Piece there is a like sea rail, and that could be like the engineer of the sea rail. There's Chugga Choo Choo.
Chugga Choo Choo.
Chugga choo choo is a D&D NPC name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm getting.
that's the one that they ask one too many times. What's this guy's name? I don't know. Chugga Choo Choo.
It's the chillest villain.
Yeah.
Chugga Choo Choo,
Whoa.
the chillest villain.
We got there.
Chugga choo choo feels like a command.
Chugga Choo Choo.
Yeah. The whole choo choo.
Oh,
Hey,
what's
Derek, why do you make like a tree and chugga choo choo? I meant to say make like a train. I said tree.
I didn't want to correct you.
Let me get it clean. Let me try again. Derek, make like a train and chugga choo choo. Oh, I like tree better. Oh, I hate that. Tree's funnier. It's the non sequitur.
I think we answered it. I think we got
I
it.
think we got it. I don't know which of those answers was right, but we threw a bunch of them at the wall, so one of them's
Yeah.
gonna stick.
We chuggaed a lot of choo.
Well, we only choo-chooed twice, but there's a lot of chugga. Yeah, the next one we're talking about here is Wendy You Wanna Go asks us, what can, if not a boat, when it do for? What can, if not a boat, when it do for?
Oh, I know this. Can Ford do boat when?
Okay, yeah, can for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can 4.
So this is an anecdote I have. This is the first thing I thought of when I read this. When I was in 9th or 10th grade in school, there was a kid that fancied himself something of a stand-up comedian. And his favorite joke to tell was, what's the difference between a house? A motorcycle, because a car has windows. Now that doesn't make any sense, but he laughed so much at himself saying that I've never forgotten it.
Can you give it to us again, and can we like be like an audience?
Sure, I guess. What's the difference between a house?
Woo, Derek!
Thank you for that.
What is it?
A motorcycle, because a car has windows.
Ha!
I don't know. I think the joke was supposed to be that it didn't make any sense, but oh yeah, what can, if not a boat, when it do for?
What can, if not a boat, when it do for?
I mean, if not a
Yes.
boat, when? It do for?
Yeah.
If not when, how?
If not, when, how?
Mm-hmm.
Why can if not, though?
I may be a country lawyer. What can if? Not a boat when it do for? Is this anything? Does that help?
I liked it. I liked it.
I got Mark Twain.
Hi, Gilbert Gottfried here. When if not a boat can do for?
That's good.
Was that Spartacus?
I didn't say this question correctly, but it's just...
Gilbert Godfrey.
Oh, I thought you were doing...
Can you give us a Spartacus, Derek? Derek, you give us a Spartacus
That was the
version?
Affleck duck.
I'm Spartacus.
I played
That's what it
Iago in
sounded
the
like.
movie that you liked.
Derek, were you doing the Ryan Stiles doing I'm Spartacus as
I was. Well, that's what Jim's voice sounded like to me. That's what I thought he was doing.
who is it? It's Jim, who is that? Who's he doing the impression of?
Oh, Carol Channing.
Carol Channing.
Carol Channing.
Oh, yeah.
That's who it is. It's Carol Channing.
I thought it was...
Yeah.
I'm Spartacus.
That's the voice I thought Jim was doing. I did not hear Gilbert
no,
Gottfried.
I can do Carol. What can that if a boat would it do for?
I heard no difference.
I was saying hello, Dolly, everyone. Thanks for coming to my show.
Do we have more runway on what can if not a boat when it do for?
But what can if not a boat when it do for? That's what I want to know.
A plane. It's a plane.
I want to embroider this on a pillow.
What can if not a boat when it... And just...
I feel like the more permanent the installation medium, the better it hits.
How many times do we need to say this before it makes good merch? What can if not a boat when it do for?
This is all nothing.
It's nothing. It's
We're
a
just-
nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh, this is more fun for us than it is for the listeners. For that reason, I think we should move on.
But Derek.
What?
Just taste it. Just like taste it on your tongue one more glorious time.
Well, run it by me. Just give me.
Okay, ready? What?
Wow.
Okay.
What can if not? I lost it. What can if not a boat when it do for?
Ooh, that's thought provoking. Honestly, it
Mhm.
reminds me
Okay.
of our next question. Actually, it kind of does remind me of our next question, to be honest, because the final question 1 this week comes to us from Vaguely Scientific, episode 155. Why dog? Why not dog?
Yeah. Why not?
Because cat.
Because cat. Wait, is that why dog because cat or why not dog because cat?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, at the top of the show, we all shared with each other a series of truthful, factual, scientific statements and some fibs, some little lies, some little untruths. And I think we should probably at this time reveal which of those were fact and which of those were fiction. I think we should go in the same order that we introduced them. So, Justin, why don't you take it away?
All right. So my 3 were China is the country that has the world's largest forested area at 200 hectares of forest. Armadillos are bulletproof. And less than 10% of the world's currency is physical. Drumroll, please, Derek. China is the country that has the world's largest forested area at 200 hectares of forest is the lie.
Whoa,
Ah.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I was just thinking of like Russia. I was like, that's gotta
thinking
have
of
more
Brazil.
forest, right?
Yeah.
actually, in fact, Jim, Russia is the country that has the world's largest forested area. And it's the number is not 200 hectares of forest. It's 800 million hectares of forest.
Whoa.
Jeez.
I wish I knew what a hectare was because that would have helped me.
Sounds like a lot.
It's like a metric acre, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This feels so much obvious now, but that's like why I wasn't picking it. I was like,
When I came across that, I was like, hectare is like kind of unique for like it's
Yeah.
a unique measurement that not
Mhm.
like it's like saying like something is there's trillions of them like
Right.
or like it's a billion versus a trillion. You're like, well, what's really the difference? It's a lot, but nobody knows that. So one's bigger than the other, but by how much? Armadillos apparently, like Jim was saying, are bulletproof for small caliber rifles
Right.
and like 22s and stuff like that. There've been a lot of stories about like people who've shot armadillos and ricocheted off of them
Ooh.
and like gotten gotten the shrapnel. Like,
Ooh.
there's a guy in Texas apparently who got hit in the face with a bullet that ricocheted off when he tried to shoot an armadillo. But yeah, like apparently saltwater crocodiles also have like really robust skins. But armadillos and saltwater crocodiles specifically apparently are relatively bullet resistant to low calibers. Which is interesting. Yeah, the number for digital currency in the world is currently at 92%.
Wow.
92% of the world's currency is digital. Less than 10%, 8% of the world's currency is physical.
I'm not surprised it's that close to 10%.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So most of it exists on computer servers, which means if the AI apocalypse ever happens, we're all going to be poor.
Yeah.
Because nobody has actual money.
Well, I'm not surprised because that's the one that I guessed, and I figured I'm probably wrong. But my thinking was the money has to still correlate to something physical, but I guess that's just not true anymore.
I guess at that point you're like, how close are we to is our money actually to cryptocurrency? Because like, if it's all digital, you know what I mean? It's not really tied to anything physical anymore.
So yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's more stable, but like if it's all digital, yeah.
All right. Well, Hunter, I believe you were next.
My three were that queen bees can breathe underwater, bats have musical taste, and auto brewery syndrome. And of those three, bats have musical taste. I made up bats
Hooray!
eat music and noise. All of that is bad for them.
I actually knew about auto brewery syndrome from House MD, which may have represented it poorly, but it was a real thing.
It is a real thing.
The dumbest name. The only reason I thought that was wrong, auto brewery syndrome. I get it.
I would have come up with a better one.
Yes, it sounds so fake. It sounds so bad. Like auto brewery syndrome. I don't know. I get it.
The whole story about accidentally drowning some bees and then they were okay and then going, wait, what? That's all true.
That's all true. No, awesome.
That is wild.
Yeah.
All right, Jim. Space rain.
All right. So, does it rain methane on Saturn's moon Titan? Does it rain diamonds on Venus? Or does it rain helium on Jupiter? And the one that is the lie is the diamonds on Venus.
Yes!
Yeah, Derek correctly sniffed out that that is something that does happen, just not on Venus. That is something that would happen on Uranus and Neptune.
I didn't remember which one it was.
Sorry, I was just vocalizing the entire audience. The collective eye roll groan.
We've actually got a pretty good amount of information about. There's nothing theoretical about the methane rain on Titan. That is a thing that we are aware of, and there's like methane lakes and rivers on Titan. And the theoretical part of the helium rain, I had to put that in there because we can't go in there and see. It's too bad. You don't want to be in Jupiter.
I mean, lots of people want to be in Jupiter, but they can't be. Because it's bad.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good not being inside Jupiter. Sounds unpleasant to me.
Yeah, I would rather not, I think, all things being equal, but
that's a lie. Everything else that would be true to get you to Jupiter, you are so on board for.
True. But being in Jupiter, I don't want.
Yeah.
One bad ending, you'd be like, I'll take that deal. Jim, I know you.
Maybe when I'm older.
You want to be buried in Jupiter. I guess not on Jupiter.
Yeah, send my ashes to Jupiter.
Send my ashes
like
to Jupiter.
the Toynbee tiles.
Oh.
That's happened.
Okay. I believe it.
Ashes into space.
If Jim says it about space, I
resurrect
believe it.
dead on Jupiter.
I'm legitimately surprised that Jim doesn't have already in his will, hey, just shoot me into space.
I mean, I would do that if I had the money to have that happen.
Yeah, that's the problem, is everything you want done to you when you die costs someone else money, and do you want them to have to pay for it? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do whatever's cheapest and sanitary for me. I don't know. All right, well, I had people believed influenza was caused by the position of stars, sailors believed the cure for scurvy was a scam, and doctors believed washing their hands would kill their patients. The word influenza comes from influence of the stars specifically. So people did believe that the flu was caused by the position of the stars, and that's why it's called that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Neat.
Sailors believed the cure for scurvy was a scam. In 1795, they found that lemon juice would cure scurvy in sailors, but they believed it was the acidity from the fruit. And lemon juice was really expensive, so many sailors in the Caribbean would use local limes instead, and it was not effective. This was before they determined that it was the content of vitamin C in the citrus fruit, and limes didn't have as much. So they believed that the people selling them lemon juice were just lying to make money off of them. So that is also true. Which means my lie was doctors believed washing their hands would kill patients. The actual truth that this was based on, however, doctors actually believed that the suggestion that they had to wash their hands was insulting and refused to do it because they thought that it was a suggestion that doctors are unsanitary and making people sick, which was kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy in that in that case.
That is so funny because that is a fact I knew, and I thought that's what this was in reference to, which it was, but like I was tricked by your trick.
I was the wording, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I was over here like, I'll eat limes all day, and apparently that would do me no good.
Well, it would do you a little bit of good, but the amount that they needed, it was not as effective as other citrus fruit, and that's just what was locally available. So as people used the cheaper option due to necessity, I guess.
Gotcha.
And they said, "Oh, well, this isn't working." So they're lying to us.
Liming to us.
That's why a lot of like modern day tiki drinks and modern day like rum based drinks are lime based drinks too. Because sailors would get paid in rum half the time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? They would get a stipend of rum, and in order to, because a lot of the rum that was made back then was not very good, in order to make it go down better, and again, like you said, like in order for them to like get their daily quota of citrus that keeps scurvy away, they would mix it with rum so that it was more palatable on both ends.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So those were our science facts and science fictions this year for April Fools. How many did you get right? How many did you cheat and look up while we were talking about whatever the heck we were talking about? I don't know. If you want to let us know that, or if you have thoughts on anything else that we talked about, you can email us at feedback@vaguelyscientific.com, or you can comment on our blog. You can like us on Facebook. And hey, Jim, weird question. Do we have any listener mail?
We do. Of course, these are not from actual listeners. These are from robots. A nice April Fool's tradition that is a very normal thing that we always do in these episodes.
We do normally always do this.
Yeah, just post all the fun bot spam we get on the blog. And I've got some great ones for you this year. I'm really excited. This first one here comes to us from Anya160MT, and it says, "Hello, pals. I came across a 160 valuable page that I think you should dive into. This site is packed with a lot of useful information that you might find helpful. It has everything you could possibly need, so be sure to give it a visit. Additionally, do not neglect, everyone, which one at all times may within this article. Discover responses to the most complicated queries. We tried. Present all of the data in a most accessible method."
What is a 160 valuable page?
I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing that it's valued at 160.
Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah.
What can if not a boat when it do for?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. This next one comes to us from Magic Ossel. Kids' ponchos possess a unique charm that sets them apart from other clothing items. The versatility of kid ponchos is one of their most appealing features, and they can be worn in a variety of settings, from a fun day at the beach to a casual outing in the park. They are a great way to add some personality to a child's outfit.
This episode sponsored by Kid Ponchos.
Yeah.
Apparently.
You know what? These next couple here I call the Love Doll Saga, because the person who posted it all went by the name Love Doll. And they're short. We'll go through them pretty quick. So this first one says, "Am I a cannonball? Said that thou wouldst wad me that fashion, but go the way I had forego below to thy nightly grave." I want you to just think about that for a second.
Yeah, it sounds Shakespearean.
Yeah. Here's the next one. Everyone ready for this one?
Yeah.
All right. There were milkmaids and shepherdesses with bright colored bodices and golden spots all over their gowns, and princesses with most gorgeous frocks of silver and gold and purple, and shepherds dressed ink-knee breeches with pink and yellow and blue stripes down them.
These are the bedtime stories that Jim reads to his child every night.
Yeah.
I'm getting we have LLMs at home vibes.
Yes.
It's just a Markov chain.
For the strain constantly kept up by the windlass continually keeps the whale rolling over and over in the water, and as the blubber in one strip uniformly peels off along the line called the scarf.
The water and the line were one word.
Yes.
Is that Hemingway?
Maybe.
Yeah, well, no, it's Melville, I think. It's Moby Dick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Dorian was one of her especial favorite, and she always told him that she was extremely glad that she had not met him in early life. I know.
That one was Oscar Wilde.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's
Dorian Gray, right?
Now. Yeah.
I have one more. I hailed the darkness that shut Ireland from my sight, and my pulse beat with a feverish joy when I reflected that I should soon see Geneva.
Robert Burns?
Maybe.
Ed Sheeran.
I need access to the text generation that they're using. I need access to this.
I think it's so interesting that someone had gone to the effort of posting a bunch of random literature quotes on people's I assume it's not just our blog that this is happening to, but to what end?
I thought it was just automated. I don't know.
If they can survive on an Ernest blog, they can get edited later and get links.
Yeah.
And then you get this click tracking to boost other pages' performance. There's your boring answer.
Yeah, 85% of the spam we get is just links to other things. These were just these texts, and I think that's interesting.
Huh.
I kind of love that though. That's amazing. It's just kind of here. It's almost like a bot is I want to make your day better and more interesting.
Yeah.
Here's some flash literature with a couple typos.
I want to make your day better and more interesting, and I'm bad at it.
And I'm bad. That's the important end to that thought. Yeah.
Well, this next one comes to us from Garage Door Repair College Station.
Oh, him
Helpful
again.
post on keeping garage doors running smoothly. As a local team providing garage doors repairs in College Station and garage door installation near me, we know how important routine checks are for safe operation.
In partnership with Kid Ponchos.
Yeah. Kid Ponchos, garage doors. You got it all.
They always go together. You know how it is.
Yeah. This last one here comes to us from Daniel Salick. I grasp the way terrifying that seems as soon as fluid sets yours dwelling along with relatives' comfort towards threat. However, you remain by no means alone. We remain present so as to defend the dwelling along with such comfort regarding your loved ones living, acting deliberately and harmlessly so that all you love persists unbroken. Our group operates immediately, aiming to cease destruction and reduce mold, offering somebody relief regarding spirit. And together with this always-on assistance, you constantly get a helper near their presence.
I'm sold.
Yeah, presence.
Sign me up.
Willing to order and guide one sustain one's loved ones protected and one's property supplied with convenience. Find peace in your home.
I think I lost consciousness during that.
My nose is bleeding, but I'm in.
Willing in order to guide one, sustain one's loved ones, protected, and one's property. Okay, wow.
That's a mouthful, yeah.
Yeah. I thought I was reading it. I thought I kept reading the same 3 or 4 words over and over again because it just says one so many times.
You were, but that's because that's what was written.
Yeah.
Was that about mold protection? Is that?
I thought it was security or something.
So this particular Daniel Salick bot posted I think 4 of these, but each time they got progressively more coherent.
Oh.
And so it is about a flood mitigation company that they come into your home, and if you have a flood, they can clean up everything and fix the damage and get rid of mold and stuff like that.
The current LLM and AI trend is sort of has this like assumption that intelligence in the language are like intrinsically connected, and like you can embed intelligence in language as like a philosophical point.
Yeah.
So it's actually interesting that you just discovered the definitive counter argument.
Well, thank you, robots, I guess, for those wonderful emails. And if you have a question that needs to be answered in a vaguely scientific manner, please email us at questions@vaguelyscientific.com. If you want to get
Jinx.
Jinx, you both owe me a Coke.
Beans. If you want to get our episodes the minute that they're released, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and all the other great places that cool podcasts like to hang out. And subscribing and leaving feedback really helps us out, and so does telling your friends.
And especially if they are not bots and actually real people.
Yeah. Our vaguely musical intro is composed by Anthony Pizzelli. And don't forget to check out our merch store over at vaguelyscientific.threadless.com. You know what I haven't talked about in a minute? Skateboards. Yeah, it's gonna be spring and summer here pretty shortly in the northern hemisphere. So, if you want to do like winter skateboarding in the southern hemisphere, I won't stop you.
Buy a skateboard.
Yeah. Or just really anything. Skateboard, that's fun, but like a mug is also cool.
You can't skateboard on a mug, though.
That's quitter's talk.
I quadruple dog dare you to skateboard on a mug. All right. Well, thank you to
Jim. No, hold on. Don't leave a quadruple dog dare hanging, Jim.
I don't want to break my mugs.
So, Derek, earlier I said you weren't raised with cowards as friends, but I lied.
Well, you didn't lie. You were just wrong. There's a difference. Thank you to Hunter. Thank you to Justin for being our guests for our April Fools episode this year.
Thanks for having me. I enjoyed being mean to Jim.
Oh.
I enjoyed it
reason.
too.
I just wanted to know if my check was in the mail.
Yeah, never. For Vaguely Scientific, I am Derek.
I'm
Jim.
Hunter.
No! I got it.
I'm Justin.
I'm Hunter.
All right, we're all of us. Everybody's everybody.
Jinx.
Somebody get me a soda.
Thanks, everybody, and to the listener, April Fools.
Ooh.
Interesting. Well, toodaloo, I guess?
Whoa. What happened?
I don't know. That's not the normal part of things, right?
I'm afraid.
I'm a normal amount of afraid.
I was so ready to steer this conversation in a much less productive direction.
Do it. What's the next?
I can cut this. Nah, who cares about Pokemon?
More people than you would think, I guess.
You're gonna get letters.